I have when I do a performance eval. I tell Marge, I go, Marge, you're one of the best employees we have. And then this is what Marge says to me, Barry, you're the best boss I've ever had. But I want you to know, I always challenge her, because I said, Marge, I can't believe that you say that, because I do very little for you. How can you say I'm good? Maybe that's why you think I'm good, because I never harass you and I see it right away. And what reinforced that I was a bad boss is that I recently read an article that they talked about how much a manager's time is spent with their employees, and that typically 80% of their time that they spend with their employees is spent with the poor performers, correcting, counseling, and only 20% with the good employees. And this book in philosophy said it should be reversed. You should be exiting the poor employees, but you spend 80% of the time that you're going to spend with employees with the high performers to sustain, maintain, continue to motivate and encourage. That made me feel worse because I started and I spent so little time with her. But let me tell you why Marge is one of the best employees. You guys saw the memo I sent out yesterday on dress code. I've never, in 12 years, had to correct Marge. Now, I'll also say, Marge, I've never seen you in a dress. Has anybody seen you in a dress? You wear dresses to church?
Yeah.
I do.
Because they have to be 2 inches, no shorter than 2 inches above the knee.
And I have to defend myself here. When I first started in cardiac rehab, I wore a dress 2 days. We had codes both days.
Oh.
It is really awkward to do a code in a dress. I have not worn a dress since.
There are probably lots of other good reasons. So here's why she's a good employee. When you look at a person, what makes them good is that you want to develop all the aspects of your life. And that includes your physical exercise, it includes your spiritual life, it includes your family life, it includes your work life. And you want to balance those out. And if you tell me that exercise is a priority, but you never exercise, it's not truly a priority. And Marge practices what she preaches. And she literally, you'll see her with her little goggles and a little mirror that she wears on her glasses, riding her bike every day. Now tell me you didn't ride your bike today.
I did not. It was snowing.
Okay. But more days than not, including the winter, she's riding her bike.
Yesterday
Not allowed to ride in the snow.
And just she's faithful in her exercise. And part of her group here, I know, is her skiing group. I had to call her Friday to deal with an issue, and she said, "I'm skiing. I can't talk to you." But it tells me she practices what she preaches physically. She really believes that. Her spiritual life. You know, she took off last year. For 24 days, she walked over 500 miles and did the Camino in Spain. Now, when she first asked me if she could go to the Camino, and I thought she said casino. And she said, casino? Why so long? And I've never heard of it. But really, when I read up on it, it's somebody that really takes that time in the walking to reflect on your life and meditate and think, where are you at and where are you going and what do you want to do, and make sure that everything's right. And so the fact that you've carved that out, and then seeing here today, part of your church group is here. So now I've seen your athletic group and your church group there. And then the balance in work and life and family. I see your family here, your brother and your mother and your nephew is here. And then we know about your work life. So to me, to carve out and really truly invest in all of the aspects of your life, you model that. Here's the answer to the test for the rest of my employees. 4 things that make a good employee, and I describe it as a 4-wheel drive, that all 4 tires have to be engaged, and if one is not fully inflated or flat, that car is going to go in a circle. And the 4 tires are your clinical skills. She's got phenomenal clinical skills. Efficiency, very efficient and productive. But the back 2 tires and last 2 are the most important to me, and that is attitude, and truly, I take a no tolerance standard toward attitudes and negativity, and you don't have that quality. You have a great attitude, very positive. And then emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence is recognizing how your behavior impacts others, and your behavior impacts us. Look at this room. Look at your work family here. Marge, you're the ideal person. I'm going to miss you. I've encouraged her for the last 2 years when she's threatened to retire, and we postponed it. And most of you guys know her personal life story where she lost her significant other, and I grieve and saddened for you with that. And last year when that happened, she chose to continue working for another year to keep herself occupied and busy. They were both going to retire and travel, and I just feel bad for that, Marge, and it's postponed her retirement, postponed this conversation, and this day has been hard for me to see. So I want to toast Marge. I want you to have a successful in retirement and continue to enjoy your friends and keep in touch with us. So cheers to Marge.
Cheers. Thank you so much. Mary's always a hard act to follow.